Hello, 7th graders. We are starting a new unit, Unit 8. So make sure you have your Unit 8 note packet out in front of you and a pencil ready to go. Today we're going to be reviewing the coordinate plane. This unit, the standard for it says, I can understand and interpret slopes, graphs, equations, and applications of proportional relationships. So proportions are still following us into this unit. We've been working on them since Unit 6. Today's lesson goal says, I can understand the coordinate plane and how it shows a relationship between two numbers. First of all, let's remind ourselves, what is the coordinate plane? There's nothing you need to write down in your notes yet. First of all, let's talk about the word plane. Imagine the surface of your desk or table stretching in every direction. If it continued to spread, it would go right through your neighbor, or the people in your house, through your house walls or the classroom walls, through your home completely, through the school, the hills, the mountains, and into space, until it went on forever in every direction. That's what a plane is. In math, a plane goes on forever in every direction. In algebra, we often use the coordinate plane. So let's remind ourselves of the pieces of the coordinate plane right now. We know that it's a flat surface that stretches on for forever. But in particular, the coordinate plane is made up of two number lines. Now you're going to fill in your notes. One is horizontal. That's our side to side. My mouse is tracing over that one right now, side to side. And the other is vertical. That's our top and bottom. My mouse is tracing it again there. If you get confused with the word horizontal, write side to side next to it. If you get confused with the word vertical, write top and bottom next to it. These number lines, the horizontal and the vertical, they have special names. Well, the horizontal one we refer to as the x-axis. And the vertical one, we refer to that as the y-axis. Let's label those axes on your coordinate plane. So the horizontal one, side to side, let's label that the x-axis. The vertical one, I always like to say y to the sky. Let's label that the y-axis. It goes to the sky and down. When we're talking about both the y and the x-axis, we refer to them as axes. So those axes break the coordinate plane, right? That flat surface that stretches on in every direction into four parts. Do you remember what those four parts are called? Starts with a Q, rhymes with quadrants. Quadrants. Write the word quadrants in. How we label the quadrants, is important. So that's what we're going to do next. Do you see how you have those four empty boxes? We're going to label the quadrants accordingly. Quadrant 1 is in the upper right, and we label them with a Roman numeral. So that's a capital I. If you're not comfortable with the Roman numeral 1, the capital I, write a little 1 underneath it. And then if we move to the left, so the top left, that's quadrant 2. And we label it with a Roman numeral 2, which is 2 capital I's. If you're not comfortable with the 2 capital I's representing quadrant 2, put a little 2 under it. And then we move down to the bottom left, that would be quadrant 3. And the bottom right would be quadrant 4. Make sure your quadrants are labeled accurately. Let's talk about points on a coordinate plane, because a coordinate plane allows us to find a specific location. And we're able to find that specific location using the number lines, but then representing that location with a point. Points are represented as ordered pairs on the coordinate plane in an x, y fashion tucked in a parenthesis. You'll see that this is what an ordered pair looks like. We can plug a value in for x, we can plug a value in for y. The coordinate plane is filled with points. There's nothing you need to write down right now. It's not just 1 point, it's not just 10 points, it's filled with points. There is an infinite amount of points that you can put on a coordinate plane, and somewhere among all those points is a really special point. It's called the origin. Say that with me, origin. So let's label the origin on our coordinate plane in our notes right now. We know that we can represent a location with a point, and that point is called an ordered pair on a coordinate plane. We find that ordered pair by starting at the origin. It's where the x-axis and the y-axis intersect, where they meet. That point right there is referred to as the origin, and it has an ordered pair of 0, 0, where your x value is 0 and your y value is 0. Label your coordinate plane with what you see on mine here. Let's practice plotting ordered pairs on a coordinate plane. Let's plot the following points on the coordinate plane. Let's remind ourselves, how do we plot points called ordered pairs on a coordinate plane? Well, we want to, let's put a little reminder here, start at the origin. And that is when x is 0 and when y is 0. Always recognizing that x comes first in our ordered pair, then y. So we first start by finding our x value and then our y value. Our x-axis, that's where we move right or left. And right is when our x value is positive. Moving left is telling us the x value is negative. When it comes to our y-axis, we're either moving up or down. When we move up, that's saying that the y value is positive. When we move down, that's saying that the y value is negative. 7th graders, a coordinate plane is a graph, and a graph is another way to show a math problem. It's another way to illustrate what's happening with the math. So today we are just practicing. We're pulling out all of our previous knowledge of working with the coordinate plane when it comes to plotting. So looking at point A, we have the ordered pair 3, 4. The 3 represents our x value, the 4 represents our y value. So we're going to start at the origin where x and y meet. It has an ordered pair of 0, 0. Our x value is a positive 3. That's going to tell us to move right 3 steps. So there's 1, 2, 3. We're going to stay right there. Now our y value is a positive 4. With positive, that tells us to move up from where we are with our x value. So we're going to move up 4 from right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There is the location of the ordered pair 3, 4, which is going to be represented by the letter A here. So let's label this point A. It has the ordered pair 3, 4. So you can label a point with a letter, or you can label a point with an ordered pair. Now, maybe we want to make ourselves a little note here. We went right 3 steps, and then we went up 4. That's how we got to that location. Let's go ahead and let's plot point B. We have negative 5, 5. Here's our x value. We're always going to start at the origin. Now, this is a negative 5. X, we either move right or left. Since it's negative, we're going to move to the left 5 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We stay right there. There's negative 5. We need to find our y value. That's a positive 5. Since it's positive, it's going to take us up our y-axis number line there. So let's go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's the location of point B. Again, you can label it with a letter or the ordered pair. Or I should say the ordered pair. Let's plot point C. We have negative 4, negative 1. Starting at the origin, am I going to go right or left to find negative 4 for my x value? Left, right? Because it's negative, we move left for the x value. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now from there, am I going to go up or down to find negative 1 for my y value? I'm going to go down because it's a negative 1. So I'm going to go down 1. There is that location. Let's label it point C. Let's find point D. It's at 2, negative 3. Starting at the origin, am I going to go right or left to find my x value? I'm going to go right because it's a positive 2. So 1, 2. Now am I going to go up or down from there to find negative 3 for my y value? I'm going to go down. So 1, 2, 3. There it is. And that is point D. Point E, we have the location 0, 3. We always start at the origin. Now my x value is 0, so am I going to move anywhere? No, I'm going to stay right there. Now from there, where my finger is, am I going to go up to find my y value of 3, or am I going to go down? Up, because it's a positive 3. So from here, there's where x is 0 for my x value. 1, 2, 3. And that is going to be point E. Then we have point F. Starting at my origin again, I have to find -1 on the x-axis. There it is. And then my y value is 0. So am I going to move anywhere? No! So here's the location of point F. When you have those zeros involved in your ordered pair, they can be a little tricky. But if we always start our graphing at the origin, it's helpful. Find the next chunk in your notes. This time, we're going to work to connect the points on the coordinate plane to form the vertices of a figure. Where segments meet, those form vertices. Then we have to name the figures. So again, we're just practicing our graphing. We have point A, here's the ordered pair. Notice how it's inside a parenthesis. This first value is my x, the second value is my y. So starting at the origin, I need to find +4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then from here, I need to find a y value of a +3. I'm going to move up 3. 1, 2, 3. This is going to be point A. Point B is located at 4, -2. So starting at the origin, I'm going to find +4 for my x. Am I going to move right or left? Right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I need to find -2 for my y. Am I going to move up or down? Down, because it's a -2. So 1, 2. And I'm going to label this point B. And we want to make sure that then we connect the dots. So I'm going to draw to connect those 2 points. Now, moving on to point C, we need to find it at -4, -2. Here's the location. Now we need to show that on the graph. Remember, a graph is another visual. So starting at the origin, I need to find -4 for x. Am I going to move right or left? Left, because it's a negative. So -1, -2, -3, -4. And now I need to find -2 for y. Am I going to move up or down? Down, because it's a negative. -1, -2. There it is. And I'm going to label it point C. And then I'm going to connect point B and point C. Last one, we have -4, 3. Let's find that spot. Over -4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Up 3, 1, 2, 3. There's point D. Connect those together. Connect A and D together. What figure did we make? They're not the same length, so this would be a rectangle. Make sure you have this filled in your notes. This last part in your notes is just tying everything together. So let's look at problem 1 here. Where is the coordinate 0, -2? So let's find what letter represents this location. Starting at the origin, we can see that there are some numbers already on our graph. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And these number lines, they go on for forever, so I'm just zoomed in on one part, okay? So 0, -2 is our ordered pair. So starting here, my x value is 0. Am I going to move from the origin yet? No, my y value is -2. So from here, I need to find -2 for y. 1, 2. What point? H. I'm going to skip 2, and then I want you to go to 3 right now. What is the coordinate of point I? Let's find point I. Here it is. What is the coordinate? So let's write its location. We know it's going to be inside parentheses because that's how we show ordered pairs. We always start at the origin. We go right or left. In this case, we need to move right 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means my x value is 4. And now we need to move down. So my y value would be -1, -2. So 4, -2 is the location of point I. I'm going to skip number 4 right now. Let's go to number 5. In which quadrant is point A located? Remember, the first part in our notes, we worked on labeling important parts of the coordinate plane. Right now, let's go ahead and let's identify our different quadrants. This would be quadrant 1. What's this quadrant right here? Quadrant 2. What's this quadrant right here? Quadrant 3. And what's this quadrant right here? Quadrant 4. So now if we go to our question, in which quadrant is point A located? Point A is in what quadrant? Quadrant 1. I'm going to skip 6, 7, and 8 right now. What I'd like you to do is now on your own, go back and do the ones that I have skipped. Then come back to the video and check your work with mine. All right, let's compare our work. So number 2 you had to do, where is the coordinate -5, 3? It is at point D. Number 4 you had to do, what is the coordinate of point E? Coordinates are like addresses, and how we write addresses matters. So we need to have our X value first, our Y value second, a comma separating them, and a parenthesis around them. Point E is found at -3, 0. You needed to do number 6. In which quadrant is point F? We had already labeled our quadrants, so point F is right here. That would be in quadrant 3. 7 and 8, maybe you got a little tangled up on those, and that's okay. In which quadrant is point C located? Here's C. It's on the y-axis, so it's not in a quadrant. So there's none that it's in. It's located on the y-axis. In which quadrant is point J located? Let's find point J. Here it is. Is it located in a quadrant? You might go, I don't know if it's 1 or 4. And that's because it's not. There's none. It's located on the x-axis. Today we reviewed the coordinate plane. Let's go ahead and let's sum up everything that we did in our summary. It's our favorite time, writing the summary. So here we go, in your summary box in your notes. A coordinate plane is a 2D plane formed by intersecting lines. The number lines meet at the origin. Then we're going to do a bulleted part of our summary. To plot on the coordinate plane, start at the origin, move right or left to find the x value, then up or down to find the y value. Something I want to point out. I remember back in 6th grade, something that people would struggle with was when they had to write an ordered pair. Remembering that you need the parenthesis, grouping the x and y value together. So be mindful of how you are writing an ordered pair. Yes, we're practice plotting and we didn't spend too much time writing, but if we look back at this part in our notes, when we had to do 3 and 4, look at how we wrote those ordered pairs. That's important. That's lesson 8.1. Finish up your summary. Have a great rest of your day.
To plot the coordinates 2, 1, go right 2, jump up 1, and you're done. To plot -8, +2, go left 8, up 2, that's what we do.
On the x-axis